Hey everyone, it's Tim with Collect Jurassic, and we're back with another news update. This time we'll be covering a recently revealed figure, John Hammond. Now this figure is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which means you have to be in attendance of that show in order to get the figure, which is definitely a bummer as this toy just looks so incredible. You can see in this first close-up shot just how detailed the figure is. Very stunning likeness to the John Hammond in the movie, and also comes with some really cool accessories, which we'll go over here in the video. But first, I want to talk about the packaging, which is also a very cool detail on the figure. So it actually comes in two pieces, card back with the John Hammond figure inside, as well as this collectible box. And it does fit inside. Again, we'll go over that later in the video, but I just really like how we have the Jurassic Park branding on that outer figure. And then we have the Jurassic World Legacy Collection branding on the figure inside. But the outer box is just really cool. We don't see a lot of Jurassic Park branding anymore. It's always, it's always Jurassic World. So it's really nice that Mattel is making this particular release sort of focused on Jurassic Park. And it only makes sense, right? I mean, this is John Hammond, not a character that appeared anywhere in any of the other movies. But the outer carton that I'm talking about has the gate motif, which is very well realized, accurate to the movie in terms of the font that says Jurassic Park and everything. We have the gates that open, and again, later in the video, we'll show how the gates actually open to reveal the figure inside. But again, this gate design is just very iconic, very cool. If you flip around the box, you will get the Jurassic Park logo again, as well as that gradient sort of silhouetted tree line that is synonymous with Jurassic Park branding from the 90s. Just a really nice touch here. This is a whole kind of graphic package that was standard with all the toys and movie memorabilia and collectibles that were released in the 90s. So for them to kind of bring it back here to the back of the box is a nice little detail. So if we go back to the front and we open up those doors, we can actually see how you can use it as a display piece for John Hammond inside, with those gates kind of bending out, and then you can see the figure, on its card back inside. So kind of turning this very cool outer carton into sort of a display box, which is something you see a lot with Comic-Con exclusives, is kind of not just releasing the toy, but kind of making the whole experience sort of a display piece, with the packaging included with the toy. But we'll talk more about the figure itself. These next few figures are a little blurry. All these photos came from Mattel.com. That they were the ones who posted all the photos this morning, so some of them aren't the best, but kind of get an idea of this figure on its regular card back. So it's somewhat similar to the Legacy Collection card backs that you can get when you were able to buy the Legacy Collection figures at Target here in the US, but it is a little different. I think the kind of gate idea is really pushed here, but same kind of aesthetics anyway, same coloring, same logos, all that. Back of the card, the same idea, the same kind of aesthetic as the figures that were available at retail, but we do have this nice little inset of a movie scene, which is the scene that the figure itself is based off of, with Hammond kind of coaxing out the baby raptor from the egg. So not another photo of the figure back here, as was the case with the other figures that were released as far as the Legacy Collection. So more focused on the movie scene, which makes sense, as again, this is a con exclusive focused on that movie scene. Getting back to the figure itself, tons of detail here with Hammond. It's an all new sculpt. The coat, everything is completely unique. It doesn't look like it's a retooled figure from Alan or Malcolm or anything. It's its own figure. Lots and lots of detail though. Included the beard and the clear glasses, sort of like Malcolm's glasses, but totally clear to make it look like Hammond. And obviously you get the accessories too, which I think my favorite part of this whole figure is probably the little egg hatching scene that we get here with a raptor peeking out. Now it doesn't quite look like the raptor in the movie, but it looks very clearly like a Jurassic raptor at first glance. So I really like this little accessory. I kind of wish we could get a few more of these, or maybe they could release them in another set, because it's probably my favorite part is this just little incubation scene. Love little world building accessories like this. and it's a great addition to this figure. Of course, Hammond wouldn't be complete without his signature accessory, which of course is the amber cane. We'll do a slow pan up here to take a look at it, and you can kind of get an idea of the detail in the figure elsewhere with the watch. But the cane itself, has that nice kind of skeletal ribbing going on, just like the actual cane. And then on top, of course, we have that amber, which, what's cool about it is it looks like it's a little bit translucent, and there's a hint of a mosquito inside. So can't wait to see how the figure actually looks in person, to see how well realized it is. But in this photo, it looks great. But yeah, we'll just do some more photos of the figure. They released lots of photos, so we'll just go over the figure a little bit more. Obviously, the entire package here, you're getting the figure, you're getting the cane, and you're getting that incubation stand as part of this set. The incubation stand looks interesting because it looks to be built out of like 3 pieces of plastic, or 3 or 4, which kind of cuts down on the paint, which I can appreciate that. It makes it a little bit more of a durable accessory. But it looks like a really solid piece as well. And Hammond obviously is mostly a white plastic figure with some painted details, so not a lot of paint necessary on him either, which is always nice. It kind of cuts back on, paint scratches or, paint defects. So hopefully these figures will be going out looking really nice and have great quality control, because there isn't a whole lot that can, get messed up across the board. But really anxious to see how that amber cane kind of looks in the final release of the figure. But we'll just have to wait, because again, this figure is a Comic-Con exclusive, so the earliest people could get their hands on it is probably next month. But the way you would be able to get this figure is you're pre-ordering it through Mattel.com, and then you go to the Mattel booth at Comic-Con and pick that figure up. And I think it's retailing for $14.99, a limit of 5 per person if you're attending the Comic-Con. And then you can get that figure. You check in, and I think what they do is they ship it in August, or you can pick up some at the actual con. I'm not 100% sure the details of it, but in any case, this figure will be available again exclusively to Comic-Con attendees later this summer. It's going to be a very, very, very collectible figure because it is so limited in its release. But really hoping this one gets a better release in some way, shape, or form, some sort of John Hammond that's released to the collectors, because it is an awesome figure, and it really shouldn't be something that only a handful of people can get. Can't stress that enough. But overall, it's just another great piece from Mattel, and I'm hoping that we get to see more like this. Again, I'm Tim with Collect Jurassic. Be sure to tune in to collectjurassic.com for more news and updates.